Hello? Hi everyone. Am I coming through okay? I don't know why the camera seems so strange to me lately. The camera's higher up than it normally is. Anyone interested in the technicals? And now it just seems set up wrong. I'm in the way of George Harrison. And Marty sadly chooses not to be here. I was going to say can't be here, but he could, couldn't he? He's in that room. He's through that wall. Just not fussed at the moment. All cuddled up on our bed. That's what he thinks about Essen, and I will be pointing the wrong way throughout this stream. Hi everyone, hey Monica, James, Steve, Marjan, Maris, how's it going? Mikhail. Right, Essen is happening for some people in the world. The proper show starts proper tomorrow. And they're giving out the prize and stuff, and they'll have the press conference in the morning. And yeah, it's all set up and stuff today, isn't it? I'm not going, if you haven't guessed. I am streaming all of the games from it, or I have been for the last few weeks or so. And so, yeah, as usual, it's going to be a top 10 of the things I would be most excited about and the things I would be racing to get to first, with the kind of extra caveats that I do get sent some of these things. You know, I'm jammy in that way, although you do have to learn them and make videos for them quickly. Hey, here's some sponsorship cards from 11. You could watch the streams earlier. But yeah, I'm gonna link all of the stuff. Like I've excluded from the top 10 things I have and things that I've filmed, and yeah, I've cheated with it so that I could have more than 10 games as usual. But I have also got, I'll put this up later as well. We're going to have to get Marty out of the way because I think he'll get in the way of the text. Can you see these? Oh yeah, Marty's above the text. Let's turn Marty off for a second. I'd rather it didn't scroll, but there's too many to fit. There's too many to fit on the screen. What if I had it scrolling slower than that? There we go. So this is all of the stuff that I have already filmed. There is a section when it loops back to the beginning of it that is like Essen brand new hotness. Like some of these might have come out earlier in the year depending on where you are, like First Rat, and some I did for Kickstarters like Hamlet and Museum Picture. Hamlet should be coming soon actually to do a playthrough of the final thing. And here's the chunk here. It's reached my chin. The Come Together, 11, Great Western Trail Argentina, Revive, Tylerton, Vengeance Roll and Fight, Village Rails, Woodcraft. At least, I'd say maybe even most of them would be the ones I would be racing for first, and kind of even more so now that I've played them. I'm just more excited about returning to them now. Haven't been let down by a single one of them, as you can see in all of the videos that came out of them. But yeah, I'll put this up again later. So if you're wondering, like, how are any of these games? There is some form of video for all of them. Hey, Dice Theme Park and Eternal Palace have got official rules videos, haven't they? So they're ones that are excluded because they're already done. I've got them. I'm not anticipating them, although I'll anticipate playing them again. And then the other list is for after we've done the main list. There's just flash up a list of the games that almost made it. Right, can we get a browser up right now? I've currently got Hamlet. Oh, mine should be arriving quite soon then, I think. I think EU shipping is just finished. I think I saw the notification earlier. So like, hopefully it'll be coming pretty soon. Imagine you going there. Imagine you going in there on Saturday and Sunday. And Greg, you're there now? You got Woodcraft and Oak. I am playing Oak tomorrow, actually, at 3 p.m. BST live. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. But yeah, Hamlet, based on my prototype, I loved it. I'm really looking forward to it arriving. Okay, you might have to put up with a bit of a grey screen. No, we don't. Okay, first one. It's not a new game. They're in alphabetical order as well. Because, yeah, this is narrowing it down to 10 is as much as I can bear. I'm not agonising it over hours more like I used to. Agents of SMUSH Epic Edition. This is a game that already exists, as you can see at the top there. It re-implements Agents of SMUSH. This game I've got a massive soft spot for. This is a great big narrative game. There's a great big storybook in it. It's a basically a parody James Bond thing. It's a cooperative game, kind of, if you've played or seen anything of Tales of the Arabian Nights, it's based off that kind of thing. You are roaming around the world, go to a new location, have an encounter there, but different with Agents of SMUSH, there's a bad guy that needs to be stopped, and there are quite daft adventures to go on all the time. The Epic Edition was a big crowdfunded thing, but as well as kind of refining and upgrading parts of the components, the artwork, all of that stuff, it's going to like, the aim is like to keep the story being the central part of it, but change the mechanics, because as much as I love Agents of SMUSH, there are some strange bits about it. There is kind of just a coin toss where you flip over some tokens at the end and you see whether you've won or lost. It's a bit deflating sometimes, although an expansion did fix that. And the kind of central mechanism, I do like it though. They said they were going to change it. I don't know if they did. You like to do tests in it. You draw a number of dice out of a bag, and all the dice have got different probabilities of success on them, and you can spend resources to get more dice out of that bag. So it's not just like as much as I love lately my Arkham Horror, spend resources, roll more dice. They all have the same chance of success. Agents of SMUSH, you can, it might not always be that way. You might get lucky and get that 50-50 die. But apparently that's all changing. So this one, I would say partly because I've got those that you saw scrolling past or have played some version of them, and partly because I don't know how available this is going to be, like over here anyway. This would be the one I think that I would be racing for. Like, if I was in the same situation where I've got those other ones, even though there's some massive anticipation going on there, I think some of these, well, a lot of them, they will end up here somehow. I might have to wait and be jealous for a long time, but you never know with Kickstarters, do you? And I'm sure there'll be some exclusives for me to be jealous of. But yeah, it's because like the original publisher, I don't think is in business anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, these new editions, I've got high hopes basically, and everything Epic Games. Hey, remember when we did that Rambo video together? I liked Rambo the board game. Well, based on that little prototype that I had. Basically, I love Agents of SMUSH. Want me to do a video, right? That would be great. But hopefully, I get me chance to get my hands on it at some point. If you're at Essen, it's going to be on sale there. I imagine it's going to be a big price tag because it's going to be a big game. I think it includes does it include the expansions and stuff from before? Yeah, go for it. At least have a look at it, because there's nothing really like that as well. There's only really like things do storybooks and chapters and things in different ways and merge them with different bits of game. Like Sleeping Gods has got its narrative books and stuff wrapped around like the adventure and all of that stuff. But for just kind of pure traveling places, reading a story, I'd have to probably have to add Lands of Galzir to that as well. Lands of Galzir isn't on this list for some reason. Lands of Galzir, check that out. That would be, yeah. If I didn't have it, that would be definitely in the top 10. It's brilliant. But yeah, this and kind of Tales of the Arabian Nights. When Tales of the Arabian Nights was like fun at the start, well, that was one of the really early games for us. But with it being competitive, we always found that at least one player sitting at the table just got unlucky and didn't really get to play, which was funny in a way, kind of funny in hindsight, not so funny for like playing for a few hours and not really getting to do anything on your turn. So yeah, make it co-op and make it all James Bond and silly. So Agents of SMUSH Epic Edition. Went on for that about 8 for ages, didn't I? Right, this is the big cheat, and as with the Gen Con video, it's the Stefanfeld Uber City Collection. So this is how I cram in a load of games in one, and also cram in a load of games that I feel like I've mentioned, most anticipated of the year of Gen Con, when we had the look through the Essen list earlier in the year. Yeah, I've rambled on about these again and again and again and again. But yeah, love Stefanfeld, one of our favourite designers. And some of our favourite Stefanfeld games are coming back as well. Macau, I would definitely put right up there. It's been re-implemented as Amsterdam. Things have been tweaked. I'm still not quite sure what. I haven't had time and still can't bring myself to watch a playthrough, knowing that I can't actually play it. But yeah, Amsterdam is Macau. But a lot of these games as well, I think all of the ones that have been redone, been out of print for years and years, impossible to get hold of. So however they come out, it's going to be good to have them available again. So Amsterdam was Macau, Hamburg was Bruges, and Bruges' expansion that was really, really hard to get. It's kind of... it's card based, and there's some kind of luck of the draw involved, and it's a little bit meaner than the others, but I don't know if this version might have changed that. New York is Rialto, which was like more, were there auctions and things involved? It was largely like, it did support 2 players, but I think with a dummy player and stuff, and like now they've all got solo modes and support that better. And the brand new one is Marrakesh, so this isn't re-implementing anything, and you know, all I've really seen is Paul Grogan of Gaming Rules saying, like, hopefully I'm not misquoting him here now, that this is like potentially his favourite Feld of all time now. And yeah, generally, not all of them, but Paul and I tend to agree a lot on Stefanfell games. So yeah, really, really excited about that. The other one that hasn't got a solo mode on it. It's got a cube tower to bow to the whims of. Stefanfeld knows his way around cube towers. Hi Joseph, how's it going? I am at home. No Essen trip this year. This is all of the stuff that I can be jealous of everyone picking up. Are you heading there? Oh, you got ISS Vanguard, Mikhail. Is it good? Are you enjoying it? So yes, the Stefanfeld City Collection, I would be hoping to... Uh-oh, is the stream okay? It's all started spinning. Hopefully it's all coming through okay. So yes, Stefanfeld City Collection. Next, Atua. Another one that's like, I can say about 10 would probably be number 1 for me, right? Atua. It's a new Uwe Rosenberg game. There is also Orienberger Canal. That's not going to actually be there just yet from Spielworks. That's another big, meaty Uwe Rosenberg game that was crowdfunded earlier on. I did back that. That will be arriving whenever the pledges arrive. But I did notice that changed to demo only, and these are all games in the list that you could pick up. Otherwise, that'd be on there as well. Maybe we'd be cramming together all the Uwe Rosenberg so I can talk about like a million games as well. It's a big Uwe Rosenberg game. We haven't had one for a couple of years now. It's Hallertau was the last one, right? I know that there's still plenty coming out, and there's more. He's got a tile laying game from a new publisher coming out as well that is going to be in the list that comes up on the screen, the ones that almost made it. Oh no, I tab out and I ruin it. It's in this list somewhere. He's done Applejack. Applejack is a new tile laying game from Uwe Rosenberg that I would check out as well. There's a sneak preview of the next 10 or however many is in there. There's bats. We are placing workers. It's Uwe Rosenberg. We're doing some kind of farming and stuff. It's fruit bats. That's all you really need to know. To be honest, all I needed to know was Uwe Rosenberg, and I'm interested. I'm gonna try and get hold of it, but yeah, it ticks a lot of extra boxes, but also that it's Lookout and I don't know where the rest of my point was there. It's Uwe Rosenberg, basically. Well, the next Uwe Rosenberg farming game would be. Hopefully. It keeps them coming. Yeah, you've got to have more Uwe, basically. That's what's high on your wants list as well. Oh, Joseph, you're at home as well. Yeah, I'm hoping next year. I did say that last year. But, yeah, hopefully we'll get back to it. It's because otherwise, it's just a massive gulf, isn't it? But yeah, it's like I'm sad to be missing out on kind of the games. As I said, like a lot of these, like it will be heartbreaking waiting however many weeks, potentially months, for Atua to make it over through the distribution process to England. But it will come eventually, won't it? Whereas some of the others, I don't know. Like I would hope and assume that the Uwe Rosenberg, that the Stefanfelds will come through those channels, but they were kickstarted as well, so who knows. I hope you can go, Mikhail. It's there's nothing like it. Not that I've been to that many conventions, but yeah, I can't imagine many compete with the kind of scale of Essen. Now would be a good time to insert ads. Thanks YouTube. Great big blue pop up on the screen there. Just in the middle of me talking. Maybe I'll have a good sip of tea and put a load of ads on. I won't put ads on, don't worry. It gets plenty of chance to show you adverts. Hi, Paul. How's it going? I know Essen for you either. Yeah, hopefully. Like, I would like to get back to it in some ways. Not traveling and rushing around and having that panic that I have usually is lovely. And although I'm stressed about all of the videos that I'm trying to make in time, it's a different kind of stress, isn't it? Dolph Romantic. Das Brettspiel. Dolph Romantic, I guess, like, anticipation of this game is going to depend on whether you played Dolph Romantic, really. It was well, it still is, you can get it. It's a digital tile laying game that is basically on here for that. I don't think the box is going to show us too much. Well, you can get the idea from here. It was a hex laying game. You want to match certain types of terrain, different terrain scores in different ways, and as you place more, you get to put more tiles in your upcoming stack. And obviously, because it had the luxury of being a video game, it could be quite creative with all of the different types of things that it was adding in. And it was kind of like, as long as you were good at it and could keep yourself building out, it would go on and rack your score up indefinitely, I think. I was never that great at it, but it was, it's a fantastic video game. And it's always cool to see these things come full circle and get adapted as board games that's got a solo mode as well. Hey, Monica, how's it going? Yeah, Dolph Romantic from Pegasus Spiel, a designer Michael Palm and Lucas Zach. You were saving a polar bear? I hope it's alright. Next up, Joan of Arc, the Orleans Draw and Write, which again, like, I know, it's tempting putting a load of things in this list that you think, oh, well, no one's gonna have heard of that thing, or like subvert expectations from, like, oh, the games you liked before, the new version, the designer you're always on about, the new game. But yeah, I love Orleans. Not that I've played it that recently. Maybe that needs to get put in a vote and we do another solo mode or something of it. I'm probably going to get this wrong now, and it's not going to be the first one, but one of the first bag building games where all of our workers are these little discs that we put in a bag. We draw out some each round and we place them on our boards. Certain actions need certain combinations of workers to work. You get more buildings that that let you do different actions. You put gears down to make it easier to activate all of these actions. And like so many great things, you're either excited by it or sick of it. It's got a draw and write version. A draw and write, not roll and write. But yeah, lovely Clemens Franz art. I assume, like, is Rainer Stockhausen and Ryan Hendrickson designed it together, or it's like Ryan has done the original Orleans design and Ryan's involved now. But yeah, basically, it's the same kind of theme. The information we have here is that you are doing similar things, establishing trading stations, trading goods, building things, but you are doing it in a roll and write kind of way. And in the solo mode, you compete directly against Joan of Arc at one of 3 difficulty levels. Can't wait for that. It's going to be so good. Well, I hope. But really, that's the attitude to go in with. I hope for. You like Altiplano better than Orleans? Well, Altiplano does it a little bit more like a deck builder, doesn't it? Like, because in Orleans, your used stuff goes right back into the bag, if I'm remembering right. And Altiplano, you have a discard bin, don't you? So you will go through your whole bag before that gets poured back in there. So you've got, like, more chance of seeing everything. Whereas potentially in Orleans, depending on how you build in your bag, you might never get back to stuff. And, you know, alpacas and stuff and all of the islands. Altiplano is great as well. I have, like, when we moved, that heartbreaking decision got made. I do like Orleans a bit more, and that's the one that I've still got. But I do pine for Altiplano to be back. But I've got to push those feelings down. I've got to cut down more. Not Orleans though. Kites. I was on about this in the Gen Con video as well. This is a little cooperative game that has the potential to be the most fun or the most infuriating little experience possible. There are a load of Sandtimers, basically. The game is Sandtimers of different colours and a kind of universal one. A deck full of cards with these coloured symbols on that correspond to those Sandtimers. Start of the game, everyone has a hand of cards. flip those timers. Your task is do not let those timers run out. To flip a timer, play a card with its colour on. You'll notice though, some cards have just got one colour, some cards have got two colours, so you might end up doing a great thing and flip things that need to be flipped, or you might flip the thing that's about to lose the game, but also flip a timer that's just been flipped and now that's in danger again. After a few like quick demos at the UK Games Expo, I could see this being something you would fall in love, well, or at least we would fall in love with quite quickly, or it would just descend into bickering if we were just rubbish at it. I don't think we won at the expo. We came very, very close to. The idea is you would play through all of the cards without letting time run out. There's a universal one that you can just use any card to flip. But yeah, you find yourself rapidly getting wrapped up in knots because so many of the cards flip multiple things, and you've got to weigh up, like, well, you haven't really got time as well. This is all happening in real time, so you've got to try and weigh up this stuff, but you can't have too much discussion of what have you got, what do I need to do, if I do this, will you do this? There isn't really, all the time you're talking about it, the sand's dripping away, so that's kind of the beauty and the simplicity of it. I think there might be some more little, I don't know if there is. Oh yeah, there's complication cards that we didn't see at the expo. There's some extra things on top of that basic game as well, but just the basic game is kind of just a simple co-op beauty, I think. And I think it's out now in America. I don't think it's made it here just yet, but soon. Hey Andy, how's it going? You paused 11. I hope you're enjoying it. I enjoyed it. Easier to plan ahead in Altiplano. Yeah, it's more like, it's more, I don't know, I'm trying to say analog and it's not. It's more, it relates more to a deck builder, doesn't it? Yeah, it's definitely stress. For as pretty and as simple and nice as it is, it was incredibly stressful. And yeah, you can play it up to 6 players as well, so it would be interesting chaos getting it on Christmas Day afternoon. Yeah, I feel like it would. I feel like Sandtimers would get chucked about a lot. Hopefully, they're pretty sturdy. But yeah, it depends how you feel about real time, really, doesn't it? Like I do. There's some where it just gets too much, but a lot of the ones that we really love, like say Fuse, one of our favourites ever, and Walkstar and games like that, just absolutely love the right level of stress and difficulty. And for bigger experiences, we'll talk about them in a minute, but Kitchen Rush and Rush MD are fantastic experiences. Next up, Pan's Island from Matagot. This is a cooperative deduction game. Notice that I might as well have used the bulk operations tool on Tabletop Together. I should have just used that to select deduction and say must have for everything that said that, because that's what I ended up doing in the end. So we play as the characters of Peter Pan, and we're each responsible for hiding a pirate and a lost child. We've got clue cards given to us in dreams, and so we've got limited information. People will ask us things and we respond on a scale of relevance ranging from exactly to not at all. And then you've got to kind of interpret the clue that you are being given by the other players. And I imagine like the children are being hunted down by Captain Hook and all of that stuff. Yeah, there's it's another one. There's it was called Peter Pan, I think, when we first looked at it on the Essen preview all of those months ago. But yeah, it's a different system. I don't think even the same designer as the Treasure Island, but I think I trust Matago after that with deduction games. It's one that I've played Treasure Island a couple of times and really enjoyed it. It's never ended up getting a copy for some reason though. But yeah, I would be checking out Pan's Island for sure. Well, I'd be grabbing it. I'm into it enough that I would be buying it. Starship Captains. You've seen me around the UK Games Expo time, going on and on about Starship Captains a ton, because we played, still not a final version, I think close to a final version, but we played a full game of it, and like a 3-player game of it in about 90 minutes, and learning it at the same time. This is a worker placement game by Peter B. Hofgaard, who you may recognize as the king of the Tabletop Together tool. He's designed a game. Has the audio gone quiet? Let me know if there's something I need to fix. Yes, he is a published designer now. I think the final copy is like it's there now at Essen. It exists, and you can all make me jealous grabbing it ahead of time. So this is, well, it aims to be, a kind of Star Trek experience. Like, you are running a ship. This is your ship, your player board. These are your crew of different colors. You can place workers on corresponding spaces to activate their actions, whether that's get new upgrades, move the ship itself. Loads of particular actions on your ship there. You see at the bottom you've got storage spaces, and then you've got the storage spaces will get more limited by the damage that you take in. So you've got the stuff that you can do. The audio keeps cutting in and out. Oh no. I can't see anything changing. Yeah, like nothing's going wrong in the stats. But let me know though if something's consistently happening, and I'll see what I can do. Although what I can do is I don't know. I'll try and persevere though. So have we got a lovely picture of the board as well? I'll use the pictures that I took last time. There's no audio problems. Like, it could be a YouTube issue as well. Like, maybe YouTube's trying to process things. Hey, there's the prototype we played at the UK Games Expo. So as well as actions we do on our player board, there are actions out on the board as well. There are pirates to fight. There are missions. You see these cards on the board itself. That's depending on the staff that you spend, you'll get different rewards. There are tracks of people, tracks of different races to kind of build up relationships with, and then get rewards from them as well. It's a lovely worker placement game as well. The people on your ship that you spend, they go back into the queue, and then to get your new workers for the next round, you push them from the back and they kind of spin around the little system. Lovely little simple thing, but a lovely little component trick with the dual layered boards. And I reinforce that it wasn't a final version that we played, so things might be a little bit different, but I imagine it was fairly close. Loved it. And as I say, like, what's the playing time on here? 40 to 100 minutes. Like, it is a big full kind of, not kind of wacky, but it's trying to be like that kind of Star Trek thing, that fun exploration, getting out there, doing stuff, all wrapped up in, let's say, our very first game, about 90 minutes, 3 players, which is pretty cool, really, isn't it? Oh, it's got dual layer boards. Steve, you're letting the Streamlab bot usurp you. Reloaded the page and it seems okay now. Oh, that's good. So usually it complains at me if something's cutting out. But hopefully we stay back. That's number 8 if we count the Stefanfelds as 1, which they were. Dominic suffered a few jumps, half a second of white screen with whirly clock and silence. That's strange. So it is happening to a few people then, but just not everyone. I don't know why. So this is the same settings that I stream at normally. It's just got me big head, a lot bigger. Oh, Marty never stops sunbathing. I don't know what I could change on that. The only thing that really fixes anything is restarting stuff. So if it keeps happening, let me know. But hopefully, like, usually the YouTube processing problems are after we've finished the stream. But next, maybe these are weirder ones. Well, not weirder ones, but maybe more specific. Maybe not quite as universal. More specific to. Nah, these are going to be universal. Super Skill Pinball Holiday Special. I mean, I've gone on. I feel like tons and tons and tons about how much I love Super Skill Pinball. I mean, nothing captures the feeling of pinball. I don't think many things other than pinball have tried to, really. In a roll and right, like Super Skill. Even like, I can't, I think they're hidden away in the the Star Trek ones, I can't say that's. I don't feel as qualified a Trekkie as I should be to have played the Star Trek boards. But yeah, the first two generic unlicensed ones, absolutely love both of them. The Star Trek edition that you can see me and Paul of Gaming Rules playing live, absolutely loved that. And now, at least a third of this, so has it got 3 like licensed things? I mean, Elf. Love Christmas films. Christmas Story, I can't say that I've ever seen. And like, this is like, it's an American publisher, isn't it? So I don't know if it's just kind of wasn't shown as much here, so it's not as much of a thing. Hey, Home Alone, get Home Alone on there. Oh, that could be a great Super Skill pinball table. But National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation as well, and Elf, of course. It's gonna there's not much other than that, I don't think, available right now. New stroke release date, hopefully before Christmas. As far as I remember, it's on the list for being available in Essen. But yeah, license, theme or not, I think Jeff Engelstein's proved through the first 2 boxes. Well, the first 3 boxes, Star Trek. I've played all the boards of. Yeah, he's proved that license or not, comes up with amazing ideas. Favorite board is skill is the cyber hack. Yeah, I love the cyber hack. I love the ones from the first one stick in my mind the most, probably because I played them for longer. But I like the disco one as well. Anything when you get, like, saying in the run mode in cyber hack, I like when you get stuck in the top board in the disco one as well. Just anything when the kind of stars align and you get to just rack up ridiculous points, especially if it's all happening while you've got multi-ball going. Yeah, it's just a fantastic game, and there's a bit more coming out for it, basically. And then finally, Tindaya, which thematically, the most attractive thing is, oh, this sounds like Spirit Island, like where there's a tribe ruled by gods and there's natural disasters and stuff. It's a Eurogame where we are trying to, keep this island safe. We are trying to battle away invaders. We are trying to settle and stuff. Like, I'm not trying to say it's like Spirit Island other than thematically. But yeah, it's got competitive and cooperative mode, and the cooperative will be the solo choice. And so really, like, I lean more and more, I've always kind of leaned that way anyway, but lean more and more to just, well, I'll do the cooperative version then. I want to help these people, not the people that were playing it, the people in the game. I want to help these people settle their islands. I want to make sure that everything is safe. Oh, they got some lovely shots, haven't they? Yeah, I would definitely be racing down to go and grab a theme-driven survival adventure with the soul of a Eurogame. That's a really great description as well. So there we go. I think that is about the 10, and probably the speediest I've gone through a list, even getting sidetracked a little bit. I will not just stop at 10 though. I won't go in depth about all of these, but there are also, I mean, it's heartbreaking enough cutting it down to 20, but yes, some other things that I would be definitely checking out, and some that are nearly going to be here. Rush MD is getting expansions. It's like real time. Your workers are sand timers, so you can only move them when they have run out. And it had dexterity elements. You're curing patients in a hospital and stuff. Now it's got an ICU and it's got maternity and dental clinics. But also, I think it's got like 3D resources and things are getting added to it now. Check those out with Artipia. Sky Mines is a new, I'm going to keep pointing at the wrong place. Sky Mines is a new implementation of Mombasa, which was a well-loved mechanically Alexander Pfister game, but maybe not so thematically. It's been redone and rethemed. Sky Mines. Star Wars Pandemic. I mean, I can't say that I've got much reverence for the Clone Wars, although, yeah, I'm thinking of it as the film, aren't I? I'll watch the series one day, maybe. But yeah, Star Wars Pandemic. Any pandemic I'm into, even before there were licenses involved. I haven't played the World of Warcraft one, though. And I don't know how well received it was. Was it good? I think I've played all of them apart from the Cthulhu one, and thanks to my mystical transformation this year, maybe I'll play that one. Aleph Null is a solo game from Tony Boydell with a kind of horrific, devilish theme. Applejack is a tile-laying game from Uwe Rosenberg. I realise this system is just going to be me with a hand over my head. Bargain Basement Bathysphere is a game that I've meant to play for ages and ages. It's a print-and-play roll-and-write game that I assume is now getting, a proper, lovely release. Castles of Mad King Ludwig is just fantastic, building these crazy castles according to the whims of the Mad King himself, with all these different shaped rooms, trying to fit them in the frame for the expansion. It got a beautiful, lavish collector's edition that, I'm sure looks absolutely gorgeous. Tried to keep myself away from it after I couldn't afford the Kickstarter at the time, and it had a colossal version where everything's enormous. Yeah, so much excited about that. So much excited. Caverna, like I've got this kind of thing lately as well. Like maybe my turnaround of some things. I've not turned around on Arkham Second Edition, and I'd never played Eldritch, so I haven't turned around on that. But some of my turnarounds have got me thinking, like, should I give Caverna a chance? This new expansion's adding like orc invaders that you've got to like try and defend against or something into the system of Caverna. Like, I have to admit, I've only ever played base Caverna, and we only played it like twice. We played it at a game group like ages ago as well. I'm talking like 2015, 2014. And I missed the cards. I already loved Agricola too much, and I missed the cards. And having all of the rooms available every time disappointed me. But hey, enough moaning about it. I think that now maybe I should give it another chance. Discordia is new from Bernd Eisenstein, the designer of the amazing, the king of all of the auction games, Peloponnese. Caverna is always good. It's in alpha testing on BGA now. Oh, cool. Frostpunk. I love the board. I love the video game. The board game seems like it's coming out. I don't know if it's only coming out in German at Essen, but it looks amazing. Jurassic World: The Legacy of Isla Nublar is a legacy game. It's hidden in the title. It's a legacy game where I feel like we're running a Jurassic Park. I know it says a Jurassic World. I hope we're running a Jurassic Park though. Kingdoms Dragons. Always interested in a key game. I think this is re-implementing another game that wasn't originally in the key series, but it only ever played 3 or more players, so I never looked into it. But now it does. It does solo as well. Oathsworn, I've gone on and on about it as well. A big fantasy adventure boss battling kind of game. Yeah, I only hear kind of superlative things about it. Now people have got their hands on it. It looks gorgeous. It's got amazing minis. I'm sure that I'd love it. Ready Set Bet. Oh, that is from John D. Clare, designer of Mystic Vale and Space Base and all that stuff. Hey, you see that further down. But it's horse racing, I think, maybe inspired by John D. Clare has got some great designs, but also the success of us playing Longshot, the dice game, earlier in the year has probably enhanced my excitement of this. Roll for Great Old Ones. Hey, I'm all Cthulhu-y lately, aren't I? But yeah, that's just one that I clicked on that seems like, oh, this could be cool. Sansushi is like, I've got Sansushi, and I've actually covered Sansushi. It should be in the other list, but I think it's getting a new version. I'm not sure how much has changed. We were confused about that the last time we checked out the list. But yes, Sansushi deserves extra mention because it's a bit of an older game now. You're building a beautiful garden. It's an amazing tile layer game. Is it from... It's just from Michael Kiesling, isn't it? Now I've got to check. It's not Kramer and Kiesling. It's just Michael Kiesling. It's got lovely new art. It's from a different designer, but I don't think a load of new stuff is happening to it. Oh, comparison of new editions. Hey, hot off the presses. Oh, you can watch a video on... I won't do it right now, but you can watch a video on Board Game Geek where Eric Martin talks about the differences between the versions, and they are trying to get it released in America. It needs to be localized for the United States. Hopefully that happens, because Sansuchi's brilliant. So You've Been Eaten. Hey, a game where you can play with 0 players. I mentioned this before. It will be getting a playthrough as soon as I get a chance. You are a space miner that has to go into the stomach of a scary monster to mine these precious minerals, but the monster would like to just digest you. One player plays as the miner, one player plays as the monster, but there is a solo mode where you can play as either side, and a bot controls the other side. And because that exists, you can play a 0-player game where the bots just play against each other. And finally, there is another story-based expansion for Space Base. And I think if you watch my original Space Base video, I don't think we were very hot on it, but another kind of I think that's maybe my feeling at the moment. My kind of change of heart. Was I too harsh on Space Base? Would we really like it? Would we just have liked it more if we'd waited for an expansion or one of the story expansions to come along? I don't know. I thought about that about Bonfire as well. Would I change my mind about Bonfire by Stefanfeld? I remember not enjoying it, but I don't really remember too much about why anymore. The Cthulhu roll and write has me intrigued. I really liked it. The Dice Tower team only gave Jurassic World game a 3. Oh dear. I must say that I haven't looked into it much more than Jurassic World, a Jurassic Park Legacy game. I know parks of dinosaurs didn't work too well in the past, but that's because I wasn't designing them. You should see my where's my dinosaur rolling right game? Oh, I couldn't whip out the reference quick enough. Hey, I've rolled and righted enough of them. Maybe we could do it in a Legacy game. I think I missed out on. Well, I haven't missed out. I can always get it at some point. We've not played Pandemic Legacy Season 0, and I think we should get to that. It's been a long time since we've played a proper Legacy thing. Forgetting, of course, our bad experience with the new Aeon's End one, which is gutted. I'm still gutted about that. We had a bad time with it because we enjoyed the first one at times, but yeah, I'd like to do the Pandemic one. I don't know why we didn't at the time. Probably just busy. And there's something about the first one I do think is the best, but also there is something about that being your first kind of real glimpse at Legacy that kind of enhances it as well, isn't it? It's more than just the game itself being good. It's the whole kind of concept being introduced to you that makes that experience so singular, I think. And Dinogenics made a good dinosaur park. I'd love to try Dinogenics. I've only played Dinosaur... It's not Dinosaur World, is it? Dinosaur Island? BGG did a game night for Jurassic World and got you interested. I'll have to watch some more about it. But as far as I know, all of these things haven't made it here yet. I think in America, you can get Star Wars Pandemic now. That's one of the Target things. So it's a bit wobbly where it comes out in other places in the world. Because also that should be on here is the Spirit Island game. What's it called? Is it it's not Founders of Spirit Island. There is a new kind of more approachable version of Spirit Island that's coming. Horizons of Spirit Island that's coming to. I think that is coming this month. Is it to Target in America? So it's the Spirit Island system, but if you've ever played it and understandably been confused by it, especially if you tried to play it with 3 or 4 players first time round, then there is a kind of better ramp, a Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion for Spirit Island that seems pretty cool as well. I'd really like that to be available. But I think, as well, this is a kind of massively trimmed down version of an enormous list. There are, according to the Tabletop Together tool, 1,191 games that are going to be at Essen Spiel in some way or another. Some of those will be demos, but the vast majority of them, they're there to buy. So yeah, I would highly recommend booking if you've got a tool as well. But yeah, the Tabletop Together tool. Hey, I'm brand loyal. Yeah, you can go on and it all links back to the booking pages as well, but you can do some kind of batch operations. So for instance, I take all of the games that I've got, take that as a mechanism and put them down as ignore. And you can kind of do that with player counts and languages and stuff. Like if you want a game to be in a specific language, then you can do that there. But yeah, there's tons and tons and tons, and I'll put on again as I feel like I've been unusually quick tonight. Yes, this is the list of games that I love in their own special way. But I've already filmed these, so these were exempt from the top 10 consideration. Some of them were reaching back into the past. Some of them got new versions, like there's that Mystic Vale Essential Edition, is a compilation of some the base game and a couple of expansions, I think. But yeah, there are some brand new things in there as well. A lot of Kickstarters that are coming, they're going to be available for the first time, like Verdant, the next one in the trilogy from Calico and Spiel de Jour, Cascadia. Verdant's going to be about, and then starting from kind of come together on this bit of the list. These are kind of the games I've been doing in like the last couple of weeks, really, isn't it? Come together from Chili Fox Games, 11 the Football Manager, that's from Portal, Great Western Trail Argentina, Revive from Aporta, Tarleton from Board and Dice, Vengeance Roll and Fight from Mighty Boards, Village Rails from Osprey, and Woodcraft from Delicious Games. They would be they're the kind of new hotness that I would be going for the most as well, had I not in an alternate universe where I haven't got them and filmed them. Lacrimosa would be, if I did another list that was like the next 10 after that. Lacrimosa sounds interesting as well. Just like I think we put it on the list in the last stream, purely at first for being music themed. I was going to say musical themed. It's not themed around musicals. But yeah, it's like composed and stuff, isn't it? And it's got a solo mode. It's always a big plus. I haven't watched a playthrough of it yet though. I'll have to, like, maybe at some point I'll have a rest from making one night and watch one. Well, there's stuff to be played. There's so much to be played. You can see from all the stuff that ends up on the channel. So there we go. That is a variety of what I would be after, what I would be racing towards at Essen Spiel 2022. And in case you can watch this back later if you would like to, but in case you're joining late, it will be Agents of SMUSH Epic Edition, the Stefanfeld City Collection, Amsterdam, Hamburg, New York City, Marrakesh, Atua from Uwe Rosenberg, Dolph Romantic, Das Brettspiel, Joan of Arc, The Orleans Drawn and Right, Kites, Pan's Island, Starship Captains, Super Skill Pinball Holiday Special. It's never too early for Christmas. And Tindaya. They would be, with the asterisk of, I've already got some of the others that I'm really anticipating as well. They would be the ones that I would be racing towards in about like 13 hours time, something like that. If hopefully they've all arrived and everything's going well, and everyone there is having a great time, and I'm not jealous at all. Hey, stop your good time for a minute. Go over to Everything Epic Games and pick me up a copy of Agents of SMUSH Epic Edition. And if I end up with more than one, it's doubtful, innit? But yes, enjoy all of your times there. No matter when you're heading there, it's going to be amazing, isn't it? Basically, it's just halls and halls, acres and acres of board games wall to wall. It's going to be grand. For now, though, I am going to get off and get ready for, well, I'm not tonight. I'm going to probably have a sit down for a bit and then go bed. But tomorrow we will be playing through Oak, another Essen release from Game Brewer. That's going to be at 3 p.m. BST live right here. And on Friday we will be playing Terracotta Army from Board and Dice. For now, though, that is it for Wednesday. Thank you everyone so much for being here. If you'd like to help me out, you can support me on Ko-fi, you can support me on Patreon. Hey, Patreon's changed how it charges people. It charges you a month from when you signed up now, rather than, I signed up now and it's going to charge me again in a few days. No, it charges you in a month from when you signed up. Yes, thank you very much for all of your support though, and making all of this happen. The only reason I'm able to make all of these playthroughs all of the time is because of those two things. So cheers everyone, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye, bye, bye.